Oh my God, how I wish I would have waited. Nothing against anyone who has the 90D, the 85D, the 75D, the 60D, any of that stuff. But man, the 100D is where it's at. I will actually not want to return this vehicle. And I'm always happy to get back into mine with all of the loaners I've driven. I'm assuming this is an AP 2.5 model. It's a 5-seater. And I mean, it even looks like it has a little bit more legroom here with the seats. I mean, it's just better. It really is. The seat belts seem to work. They're not going to get twisted very easily. I could be wrong about that, but that's a problem that I have with my Model X on the second row seats. They get twisted a lot. The cargo space is a little different. I'm going to go get into that really quick. This is just going to be a quick video. Well, I figured now that I've had a few days to really settle in and do a good bit of driving with the D Model X, that I would give my thoughts. Well, my first thought is the 100D is the only way to go right now. Getting the longest range battery in any model Tesla is the way to go. I wouldn't settle for less. I just wouldn't. Now, for some people, it may be a money issue, and I totally get that, and I don't mean to sound insensitive to that. But at the same time, when you're going into this world being EVs, I think it's best to get as much range as possible, simply because of what I am always talking about. You know, any way to avoid range anxiety, but not just that, just because, in my opinion, in comparison to gasoline filling stations, we don't have a plethora of options. Therefore, having the most range is vital. It is essential to survival as an EV driver and owner. The other thing that I can say is I'm getting mixed reviews on this, but I'm a really big fan of the 5-seater. I think that the 5-seater is the way to go. I mean, now, if you really care that much about seating and you don't care about having storage capacity, get a 6-seater or a 7-seater. I mean, go with a 7-seat configuration, but you're gonna find out really quick that configuration's a little bit cramped. The 7-seat, I mean, 6 seats not as cramped, but then you can't really adjust the seats the way you really want to. Therefore, 5-seater wins for me. What doesn't work for me is the non-perforated seats. I really miss having the ventilated seats while I'm driving this vehicle. It's starting to get really warm here in Georgia. I mean, it's pretty much spring now. I mean, winter's behind us as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there is a chance it could sneak back up and hit us again. It could even possibly snow. It's really crazy down here in the south with the weather. I think that having the option to have ventilated seats along with heated seats is a good thing, and I'm sure that's gonna come back later on. But other than that, I think that the material that they're using, the synthetic material for the seating, is great. I find it to be very comfortable. I have to go back to the range just for a minute. The range is amazing with this vehicle. To someone who's going to compare it to like a hybrid diesel vehicle or some, vehicle that's going to get anywhere from 700 to 800 miles out of a tank, then of course that's not going to be a big deal, being able to get anywhere from 250 to possibly 300 miles of range if you play your cards right. But in coming from a 90D, the experience of driving a 100D is, in one word, comfort. There's just a lot more comfort. There's zero range anxiety, and I feel that that's very important. So with all that being said, if you are looking into getting a Tesla, I think that you should, I think you should go with a Model X. B, I think that you should go with the largest battery pack, and that being a 100D right now. If you're holding out and waiting for them to come out with larger battery packs, I can totally understand that, because right now you can get a 315-mile range Model 3, and for people who are completely focused on range, then of course they're going to be like, well, why should I pay, anywhere from $55,000 to $80,000 for a vehicle that doesn't even have the same amount of range, and, you know, when I can get more range for 35,000 or so, and I get that. So with that being said, people are definitely ready, and the rumors are flying a lot about them coming out with a vehicle that has you know, a range of up to 400 miles, and you know, I would wait for that too. But if you can't wait at all, then I would definitely recommend going with a 100D. I think you'll be very happy with that, especially with a Model S. If you go with a 100D Model S, you're going to start out with a range of 340 miles, which is more than what they're putting on paper for it. But you're going to start out with 340. I have tested it, and I have been able to, you know, charge it up to 340 miles at a full charge, and you know, you're definitely going to get very close to 300 miles out of that range. After, you know, real world, you're going to get that. So with the Model X, you're going to charge it up. It's going to give you 300. It's going to say 300, but you're going to get somewhere more like in the ballpark of 250 to 270 miles of range, which is still really good, and that provides that type of comfort that is comparable to, you know, an internal combustion engine vehicle, especially one that's got a V6 or, you know, V8 in it. So here are my closing thoughts. Get the 100D. You will not be sorry. If you get a Model S or a Model X and you go with the 100D and you care about range, you will not be sorry if you pull the trigger and go with a 100 kilowatt right now. As far as the seating is concerned, or as far as seating goes, I would say go with a 5-seater. If you have a large family, then go ahead and just go with a 7-seater and skip the 6-seater. Any other options as far as premium upgrades and all that, I think that's the way to go. Always go premium if you're going into this type of a vehicle. I don't know if they did away with the Alcantara on the dashboard, but if they did, that's a good thing. You don't need it. It's better to have it all leather or synthetic or whatever that material is they're using now. Not much else to report on that. I mean, it doesn't really matter what interior color seating you go with. I think the floor mats are always black as far as I know, which is a good thing. They need to be that way. And with an exterior paint color, I would recommend silver. I think silver is great. I love that color for cars, and you know, it's not going to show the dirt as much. And as a matter of fact, this pearl white doesn't really show dirt that much. You would think it would, but the black shows the dirt really bad. I love the black on black vehicles, but I have to admit it really does show. So that's it. Those are my final thoughts. Best of luck to you if you are looking into getting a Tesla now. Please consider using my referral code that's in the link. I also have you know, links to products that I use with my Tesla through Amazon, and if you are interested in using that, I would appreciate it. It doesn't hurt you in any way, but if you could use my affiliate links, I would greatly appreciate that. And subscribe and like if you haven't already. Thank you so much.